Hello everybody, DJ Neeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Once again, we have a new hero added to the roster. I apologize for this being a little late, as I actually was working for a good chunk of launch day. But it's the day after, and finally, we are going to be taking a look at a hero that surprisingly is not a Warcraft assassin. That was a joke that was seemed to be the running trend with new characters. We have a new support character because apparently Blizzard said, "Don't worry, we're gonna have some more support characters on the way to the roster." So the last character was Malthael, a character many of us wanted, and some of us have been asking for this character as well. As you guys probably know from my playthroughs of the StarCraft campaigns, I am a huge StarCraft fan, and I'm very familiar with pretty much all the characters from that game. And this is a character that I really became fond of, and it is Alexei Stukov, an infested admiral. Alexei Stukov had a hard life and an even harder death. He has been betrayed, shot into space, resurrected, and infested, almost cured, and then experimented upon as the infestation returned. Now, his infestation spreads within the Nexus. If you want to know more about what exactly that's all talking about, go swing on over to my playlists of my playthroughs of the campaigns for StarCraft and StarCraft 2. But he is a melee support, though that can actually change with a talent. I didn't really mess around with him that much in the PTR. I took a look at him, but I didn't really test him out or anything. I figured I would just wait until this happened. So, as always, let's take a look at his appearances here. This is his default look here with his uniform, where he was a admiral for the UED. That was part of Brood War, and then this is his infested Zerg-like arm, where it shows that he's half man, half Zerg, a monster, as he called himself. This is UED Stukov. I really like this look. This is Dictator Stukov. I didn't know that red apparently was the color of dictators. This is his Chaldeer Stukov. Not sure why that's locked. I guess it's just an extra skin. And this is Xeris Stukov. And then here we have his alternate looks, Admiral Krakenov. Kind of a play on, I don't know, I guess on Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, sort of. We have a skull here with an octopus for an arm, as well as through that eye. We have a trident for a hook hand, and we have a anchor for a foot. Just a straight up play on pirates. We have Reef Admiral Krakenov, Ghost Admiral Krakenov, Vice Admiral Krakenov, and Tide Swept Admiral Krakenov. They're not bad skins, but they just look really silly. A little too silly for me. I'm perfectly fine with the default look. So what is he like? Well, as you would expect, or at least how I would expect, because he is a support, I would expect him to have a decent amount of healing. And from what I have heard people say and seen people, try and show in their videos that they got out, he seems to be able to do that without the need for a heroic to help with that. So let's take a look at his abilities. His Q is Healing Pathogen. This is the main source of his healing. It only costs 30 mana. It has a 10-second cooldown. Infest an allied hero with a healing pathogen that heals the target for 240 health over 4.5 seconds. Healing pathogens can spread to a nearby allied hero every 0.75 seconds, and a single healing pathogen can spread to each allied hero one time. Now, because of that, and his W here, let me read this. Weighted Pustule. Hurl a pustule that it impacts all enemy heroes in its path, dealing 20 damage and slowing by 5%, increasing to 50% over 3 seconds, dealing an additional 80 damage upon expiring or being removed. So when I first saw these in the Spotlight video, I first thought he was going to be somewhat similar to Zenyatta. But as I realized, that's not the case. He may have a positive healing and a negative debuff ability like Zenyatta, but the way he operates is pretty different. His E is Lurking Arm. This is a cool ability that makes him kind of similar to Alarak, in that he has a silence in his kit. Channel at a target location, creating an area that silences enemies inside and deals 144 damage per second to them. Deals 50% reduced damage to non-heroes. Does not cast mana while channeling and lasts until cancelled or interrupted. Yep. And then his trait is Bio Kill Switch. This is key to go along with healing he gets with Healing Pathogen. It has a 16-second cooldown. Activate to detonate all of Stukov's viruses. Each Healing Pathogen heals its target for 500 health, and each Weighted Pustule does 100 damage and slows its targets by 70% per 2 seconds. So if you have a ton of W's and Q's out, and you detonate that, it's going to be very effective. His 2 heroics, neither of them do any healing. Flailing Swipe, 100 mana and 80-second cooldown. Swipe 3 times in front of Stukov over 1.75 seconds, dealing 50 damage to enemies hit and knocking them away. Each swipe is larger than the previous, so it's a good way for zoning and crowd control. And then we have the heroic that made everyone's jaw drop in the Spotlight video. Massive Shove. Extend Stukov's arm. If it hits an enemy hero, they are rapidly shoved until they collide with terrain, taking 200 damage. Stukov gains 50 armor while shoving an enemy. You can, if there is nothing in the way, you can literally shove an enemy from one end of the map to the other, which sounds amazing. And it sounds like a show-stopping heroic. However, I mean, really, I can absolutely see that while this is more show-offy, the Flailing Swipe to me seems more useful and adds a bit more utility for helping your team as well as yourself, providing more survivability in case you are being chased, to just simply knock them back and knock them away to try and keep yourself alive or to keep a teammate alive. His talent tree, this is where it gets complicated, because he's got at least 4 talents in every tier except 20. And 20 is probably his weakest tier, which is very sad. But as I was saying, Spine Launcher, this is where he turns from melee support to a range support. Basic attacks become range, and they slow enemies by 20% for 1 second, but they deal 50% less damage. And he actually has some pretty strong melee basic attack damage. But obviously, because he's a support, with the exception of Rhaegar, you usually want to keep them back and keep them away from engaging in a melee fight, you know? But then again, the way Stukov works is he's supposed to kind of be with his team bunched up to get the most out of his healing. But anyway. Fetid Touch. It's a quest. Hit heroes with Weighted Pustule, your W. After hitting 20 heroes, reduce the cooldown by 2.5 seconds. After hitting 40 heroes, reduce the cooldown by an additional 2.5 seconds and remove its mana cost, which sounds great. Growing Infestation, Lurking Arms area expands by 50% over 2.5 seconds. This can make it very large. Popping Pustules. Detonate 10 Weighted Pustules without dying. Detonate a Weighted Pustule now applies its damage and slows in an area, which also sounds really good. I think I would want to go with Fetid Touch, though a lot of people have been leaning towards Spine Launcher, but I've also seen guys like Grubby show a Lurking Arm build where Growing Infestation can be really nice to be able to have a much larger area for a silence. The problem is they can just walk right out of it. You know, it does a silence, but it doesn't root them there. If there was a way to keep them there where they can't really do anything, it'd be great, but they can just walk right out, so it doesn't stun them or root them. Level 4, One Good Spread. Reduce healing path. After a healing pathogen infests 4 targets, restore 30 mana and reduce the cooldown of healing pathogen by 2 seconds. Which of course is really good if you have a team that's bunching up together. You'll get a lot out of this if you're able to do that. Healing pathogens heal over time on its initial target is increased by 50% while they are above 60% health. That definitely sounds pretty good if you have some high health allies. Biotic Armor. Healing pathogen grants 50 physical armor to its initial target while it's active on them. Really good against auto attack enemies. Vigorous Reuptake. Detonate 50 healing pathogens with Bio Kill Switch. Increase Bio Kill Switch's healing by 50%. Now, I saw Sinvicta using this, and he was able to get a lot of healing out of his pathogen with this talent. So I can definitely see a DPS build and a healing build. Increase the range of weighted pustule by 100%, the long pitch. Increase the range of lurking arm by 50%. Each time an enemy hero is hit by lurking arm, reduce its cooldown by half a second up to 6.5 seconds and restore 5 mana. Huh. Detonating exactly one weighted pustule, but any number of healing pathogens with Bio Kill Switch, reduce the cooldown of Bio Kill Switch to 5 seconds. So you can also see a build completely around Bio Kill Switch. Level 13, when taking damage below 50% health, instantly spread a weighted pustule to all nearby enemy heroes and reset the cooldown of Bio Kill Switch. If you seem to be getting attacked a lot and ganked up a lot, this may, throughout the match, this may be a good talent to take at that point. Low Blow, Lurking Arm deals 150% more damage to enemy heroes below 25% health. So a nice way to try and finish off enemies are, if you can catch them with low health. Lurking Arm persists for 1.5 seconds after it is cancelled. Detonating a weighted pustule on an enemy who is inside of Lurking Arm roots them for 2 seconds. Now that right there sounds great. Of course, it all really depends on how it's going. Level 16. Whenever an ally with healing pathogen is stunned, they are instantly healed for 250 health. Huh. Healing pathogen can continually spread through Stukov, but its healing is reduced by 60%. Pox Popula. Bio Kill Switch no longer removes healing pathogen and instead refreshes its duration. Now that also sounds really good. Increase the final damage of weighted pustule by 50%. Additionally, detonating a weighted pustule with Bio Kill Switch blinds the target for 3 seconds. And then level 20. Flailing Swipe's mana cost is reduced from 100 to 50 and it gains 2 additional charges, but each use only swings 1 time at maximum range. This could be useful, but I don't know. Massive Shove travels 25% faster, and if Massive Shove pushes a target for more than 1.5 seconds, its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. So keep in mind, this only has a 20-second cooldown, which means you would get it a 5-second cooldown. But keep in mind, you have to time it and position and angle it right to get the most value out of this, which is why I think Flailing Swipe is going to be the more picked heroic, simply because the way you're going to be able to get value out of this may not be as much as you would the other one. And then Bio Explosion Switch. Bio Kill Switch now also detonates Lurking Arm, applying a weighted pustule to enemy heroes inside and silencing them for 2 seconds. I mean, there is a lot of complication, it seems, to getting the most out of these abilities. And I do have a problem with the fact that neither of his heroics do add any healing. To me, a really good solo healer should be able to have a heroic that gets some healing out, like Lily or Malfurion, Rhaegar. Someone that can be able to have that heroic that all of a sudden can do a ton of healing that changes the outcome of a fight. But from what I've seen, he may not need that. Some people have been able to get like 100,000 healing out of him, even without a healing heroic, just being able to manage his abilities well. So, I think I have everything. Yeah, I've got everything set here. Let's take a look at Stukov, Alexei Stukov in action. I wonder how many more newer players actually look down here and look at these tips, because this is a super important tip for them to take to heart, and unfortunately a lot of players don't seem to understand this aspect, because I will see them dive in and engage in a fight when the enemy team is level 10 and we're like level 8 or level 9, and I'm like, why are you fighting when they have their heroics and we don't? Soak and get 10, but they just dive in and start fighting. Oh, by the way.
Preparation
Oh, wait, no, hold.
Do you sense that? Our enemies
There we
are
go.
afraid.
No, no, wait, that's not him. Alright, hold on. I saw something on this map. Is that Waldo, or is that just a pirate?
cycles.
I think Palatine pointed that out one time. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks awesome. Alright, so we find ourselves on Blackheart's Bay. The friendly team, Stukov, Zarya, Sylvanas, Valera, and Jaina. On the enemy team, Varian, Lili, Asmodan, Zagar, and the Lost Vikings. Okay, well... Yep, definitely going to Fetid Touch because, of course, with the Lost Vikings, it should hopefully make it easier to spread that. To complete that quest by simply hitting them a lot. There we go. There you go. Thank you, Vikings. Oh, and by the way, check out his auto attacks. Right here, level... That's 272 at level 1. That's not bad. That's not bad. Got my silence out, and they're just standing in it. Need to go sippy cup. Oh, I love that they changed the animation for my Battle Raptor mount. So then you gotta make sure to... There we go, got that to spread. That's right. That's right. Go ahead and just stand in there. Oh, he got away. Oh, man. I should have committed and I should have dove in to get that one extra auto attack. Hello, Varian. Ah, see, they can easily just move out of the way. Healer versus healer. Ah, see? If there was a way to root her there, like a bone prison or something, then that'd be great, but... Yeah, there you go. You just put that right in the pathway of the gate. That's a great way to finish them off. Alright, I'm gonna go back and get some mana. There are these little icons right here. By the way, I love that the interface here shows this this infested material there. That looks fantastic. Whoa, we got a huge push here. Asmodan and the Vikings pushing bottom lane. Yeah, I gotta go down here. Plus, this is a great way to get my weighted pustule spread. Though it doesn't necessarily spread like Healing Pathogen does. But look at this. Ah, but of course that makes me very vulnerable. When I just stand there channeling it. That's something we're gonna have to try and get used to. Of course, this is great for doing things like interrupting someone who's channeling another ult, like if Nazeebo is channeling the Vengeful Spirit. So let's see, do I want extra range here? Yeah, let's go with that. So I can get the most out of it. See, this timing. Oh my gosh, they got the, they got the fountain. That's right, stand in it. Come on, Aspen, keep standing in it. Oh. I thought for sure. Wait. Alright, so let's see. How does this... Oh, that is great for clearing the chests. Oh, man, that's awesome. May as well try and get what I can for that quest. 29 out of 40, 6 out of 50. Detonate 50 of those, man.
Huh? They're all paid up? Bah, who cares? Let's get to the fun part.
Oh, they moved out of the way. And moved out of the way of that. Oh, they moved out of the way again. Come on, AI. Quit playing the Vikings like you're supposed to. Alright, just for funsies, let's take Massive Shove.
That's enough. We don't be working for free.
Now, of course, I think the way you'll get the most value out of this is if you are able to use it to shove, like, the tank or somebody, like, somebody really important out of a team fight. 35 of 40. Man, I have used up a lot of mana. A little surprised. Alright, there we go. Okay, so the most I'm going to get out of that is if I am bunched up with teammates. Of course, this is an AI match, so of course the AI is going to be all over the place. Oh, wait, hold on. This is a good opportunity. Anytime I see the Vikings, I'm like, ooh, opportunity to spread my pustule. Ah.
You possess a certain talent.
He just runs away. There you go, Sylvanas. Alright, now I'm gonna go back and get mana. Meanwhile, the AI teammates turning in. I have enough to get the next turn in. Our AI Valera pushing the lane. Obviously, my healing is not doing so well, and I'm leading in hero damage. Alright, yeah, this is an AI match, so obviously don't really rely on this, but I'm mainly just showing you how the abilities kind of work, but I'm also just kind of learning myself. This is my first ever time actually playing with Stukov, so I'm kind of learning, and I can tell you right now,
Good work.
it's
Let's keep it up.
trying to get the timing down for some of these is not really easy. You have to land this with, as a skill shot. You have to start spreading this. You probably should start spreading this first and then land this, so get the most out of the bio kill switch.
Run, boys! Let's liven up this place.
Fortunately, since I'm about to finish this quest, it'll take away the mana cost. Oh my gosh, I missed again. Come on. Walk over here. Ah! Alright, I hit Lily. Back Lily. Ah, I can't do that through the building. Ah! There we go. 3 more for that quest. So what do I want here? What would I want?
Fort eliminated.
I guess this would be a good defensive mechanism. Yeah.
Slain. Termination.
Oh, they are so close. I was hoping they were going to be right there. Nope. Meanwhile, this Varian, who went Colossus Smash, is trying to really push the lane.
Let's see how you handle two chests at once.
Yeah, there you go. Applied that slow.
Slain. Efficient hunter. Enemy slain.
Boom! There you go. Hang on, Jaina. Sylvanas, I got you. Boom! There you go. There's the burst healing that he can do. Alright, bunched up, bunched up, bunched up, and... Oh, it's still on cooldown. Ah, Jaina. Man. There you go. That's a good way to try and finish someone off.
Select talent.
Loving that healing.
Alright, let's see. There you go. I'll go with that. No longer removes the healing pathogen. Just keeps on using healing. Oh, that's great. It just keeps spreading it. Alright, well, I can tell you one thing. Just simply because of Lurking Arm, this is going to make Stukov a great choice here just for this. Look at that. That's almost as fast as Tracer and Tychus can do that. And they are two of the best at doing that just simply because one auto attack applies there. That makes him a very valuable pick on this map, just for this. Look at this. So I can see multiple uses, not necessarily for the silence, but multiple different uses for this ability. Nidus Network, huh? Let me guess. Oh. But this is a great way to clear out that creep.
Seems we've reached an accord. Let's show your enemies a jolly good time.
See, the thing about this map is that not really that many opportunities to have to do that much team fighting. You just go around, collect the coins, turn it in, and the map pretty much wins it for you.
Hire you blackguards!
I kid, of course, because of the amount of fights that do happen, like around here and other places, but...
Move quickly.
Well then, who's got the coin for me service?
There you go. That's also a good way to try and stop them. You hit them with the pustule and then activate the kill switch to do the slow. Jaina, what are you doing? Oh, I thought he was going to keep going. Oh my gosh, look at the damage his abilities, his basic attacks can do. Oh man.
Termination.
Ooh, oh, hit that corner. See, the ult is very, like, it needs conditions. Yeah, got him.
Slave fort lost. Double triple termination.
There we go.
If they want more, they'll need to pay up first.
I think whatever talent it was that reduced the cooldown, I could definitely see being very useful. Which one was that? Ah, reduces the cooldown of biokill. I see. You just have to time or like set it up where there's only one weighted pustule in order to be able to do that. So that way you can get the most out of this. So you can get the most out of your healing. I see. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, you got practice and experiment to see what can you get the most out of. What synergizes really well. Now, of course, because it's only the first week, I'm not really sure how Stukov is going to stack up amongst the other supports in the game, like Uther, Malfurion, Lily, Morales, Rhaegar. Get rid of that creep. Oh my gosh, look at the entire enemy team here. 2 auto attacks and he just takes, takes out the enemy minions here.
Select talent.
See, decent wave clear, but not that great. Detonate that just to get closer to the quest, and you only need 8 more. It actually does less damage against minions. So don't think that he's an amazing wave clear enemy. Or not enemy. Character.
What's a pirate without a little treasure?
Much more effective at that than Jaina is.
Eliminated.
Of course, I wouldn't really be doing like this. I would try and keep up with my teammates because, of course, I am the healer. So,
Thanks, friend.
alright. 44 of 50. Problem is, I gotta wait another, what, 6 seconds. None of us went and got this. That's okay, though. I don't mind letting this game continue a bit more. Want to play him a bit more.
Termination.
Whoa, yeah, that was enough to kill her. Ah.
Move quickly.
We're on, boys! Ah, let's liven up this place!
He's gonna end the game. 5, 4, 3.
Fire at will!
Very impressive.
Here we go. Finish the quest.
Termination.
Boom! That collision with the terrain is so strong. So if you want to be able to try and help take out like a single enemy, whether it's just take him out of the fight or eliminate him like through collision with terrain or something, I can absolutely see him using that.
VP.
Look at this hero damage. I'm not saying this makes him an assassin or anything. Obviously, I wasn't really getting that focus that much. And plus, what did they really have? They had 3 specialists, and they had a Colossus Smash Varian. I'm just saying, like, don't really take those stats to heart that all of a sudden he's going to be the next hybrid where he can be able to do healing and damage and such. That's an anomaly in an AI game. The talents I used in this build were Fetid Touch, Vigorous Reuptake, Long Pitch, though really I only took this because of this quest. I could see myself taking Spine Crawler at 1, the talent at 7 that reduces the cooldown of Bio Kill Switch. I think Flailing Swipe will be the more picked, utilized alt. Don't know about this one. I think I'd choose something else. And then these seem fine. Let's see, what else would I have taken at 13 instead? I mean, the other ones were mainly just Lurking Arm ones. You could take Lingering Spines if you want to, like, stay a bit. Or this one, which roots them. I think that's also a really good choice as well. Detonating a weighted pustule on an enemy who is inside Lurking Arm. That seems really good as well if you want to just root them in there for a couple seconds. So there's a lot of variety builds here, depending on what you want, though. I think Bio Kill Switch is obviously the key to his healing output. While this also seems pretty good, and this also seems pretty good, but again, some of these are situational. But that's kind of why there are so many talents in each of these tiers, because he can be a versatile support in many different situations. Is he overpowered at launch? I don't think so. But I'll have to wait and see what other people think, what the community thinks, whether or not he's valid enough for a high ban. But I do like him. I do like his kit. So, there was one other major change that came in this patch, not just the arrival of Stukov, but someone got a rework, and we will be taking a look at him when we come back. Stay tuned.